Okay, I think
7 o'clock.
it's 7 o'clock. I've got live. I think it says live. So we are. I gotta get ready here. Oh, there, Kathy Bailey is watching. Okay, somebody's seeing it. My husband isn't, that's why we're trying to figure this out. Oh, there we go. Oh, yep, here we go. I'm talking away to myself here. So just go on your own, just go on your regular feed, I think. Hi, Pauline. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Sue. We're just getting the things sorted out here. Just give me your 1 minute. Oh, there. I think that's coming. Oh, hi, Val Watson. Hey, Val Watson. Nice to see you. Oh, my goodness. It's a little bit crazy here trying to figure all this out because we come from the Rosendale-Lavenham area, so technology has taken some getting used to. But thank you all for joining me tonight. I'm really excited to have this opportunity and to be doing this. It was Cecil that really pushed me. He heard me practicing last week and said, you need to do one of those concerts that everybody else is doing. And I decided he is right. I have always believed that the music that comes through me isn't necessarily just for me. I think the songs that come through me are songs that are meant to be heard by other people. And that's what I believe all singer-songwriters' music is about, or all musicians. So I'm hoping that in doing a few tunes tonight, that I will be able to share a bit of my life experience, a bit of what I've gone through, and with any luck, hopefully some of what I've gone through may ease some of what you're going through. Not necessarily just because of this virus, but because of life circumstance. So I'm going to start with a song that I wrote about 10 years ago. It was for our 30th high school reunion from McGregor Collegiate Institute, and it was just a reflection on how different life was than the way we'd anticipated in '78 when we left. So I wrote a song called Life is a Journey, and I think it's just a reflection of the fact that all of our lives are journeys. They have a lot of detours. We're on a detour right now. Maybe some fabulous things that we see along the way. So this is Life is a Journey. Life is a journey, takes us all from who we were to our destiny. And each stepping stone, every road we choose, every time we win and each time we lose, it leads us to who we're meant to be. Looking at the pictures of myself at 17, I find it so hard to imagine that naive girl was me. There were big dreams and ambitions that were never realized, and there was hope and there was passion, and I still see that in my eyes. And all the heartache and all the heartbreak and all the mistakes that I've made, well, you put them with what I've done right, that's who I am today. I know this life, it's a journey, takes us all from who we were to our destiny. And each stepping stone, every road we choose, every time we win and each time we lose, it leads us to who we're meant to be. There have been times I've cried my eyes out wondering how I'd been that wrong, and there were times that left me breathless. There were times that made me strong, but each time a storm cloud parted, I could see that sun again. I saw that I had never been alone, had my family and my friends, and all the lessons and all the questions and all the memories that I've made. They're the things that I hold closest out of everything I've gained. I know this life, it's a journey, takes us all from who we were to our destiny. And each stepping stone, every road we choose, every time we win and each time we lose, it leads us to who we're meant to be. let you know. You be yourself and then you'll find this life, it's a journey. It's gonna take you right from who you are to your destiny. And each stepping stone, every road we choose, every time we win and each time we lose, it leads you to who you're meant to be. To who you're meant to be. To who you're meant to be. And that was Life is a Journey. And it certainly is. Now you were going to a little sidebar?
It's just starting here now. How much?
Okay, it's a little bit of a delay. Hello, Allison and Gail DeFort. I said the other day, she is like the replacement for my mother because she keeps such a good eye on me. And Margot, good to see you. And I've got two computers going
Mike
here because
Lee?
this is so... Mike Lee. Oh, I was just listening to some of his music today. Check out his YouTube if you haven't got. And hi, Cheryl from the Hills. Nice to see you. So the next song, I decided to do this concert, or this little whatever we're going to call it. And I did it, a lot of it was, like I said, to share the music, but I think I'm looking and watching what's happening in the world, and we're seeing the way that ordinary people are really showing up as heroes. And I think there's some stuff I want to share here, even in regards to parents that are really struggling right now. And I look back, because now I have a little bit of time to look back. We've almost have 60 years under our belts. But you know what, my reflection is that the heroes that I've looked up to and that I've aspired to be like are those ordinary people. They were the people that had the impact on my life. And as tough as the days may be, I hope that you realize that you are really acting as heroes for your children and your co-workers and the people that are in your life right now. So, hey John, how's it going? Anyways, this is a song I wrote for my dad. He never got to hear it. And in this song, he actually is all the roles because it just seemed more fitting. But he was one of those strange prairie boys that never saw anything bigger than the Assiniboine River and made a decision that he was going to join the Navy and sail the seven seas. And he did that, and he loved that. But when he had family, he loved his children more. And he made the decision that he was going to leave that life, come back to the farm so we could get a stable education. And that's what he did. Pounding staples, fixing fence. He's straightening out the ones all bent. He's moving forward, but he's looking back. Sees he followed in his daddy's tracks. It was 1963. He never thought that he would be here, doing just the thing his old man did. But he's got a wife, there's 3 small kids, so he traded in his favorite traveling boots for the chance that they could grow some solid roots in that same land where he once had grown his own, on that farm back home. And never once did he think twice or see the choice that he'd made as a sacrifice. He knew in this life you reap what you've sown. And for every dream that he saw fade away, a new one came to take its place that was stronger, 'cause he never dreamt alone on that farm back home. The years slipped quickly through his grasp. Before he knew it, he'd watched the last sun heading on his way out through the door, just like he'd done all those years before. Heard a call that Uncle Sam was looking for a few good men, and something told him that he had to go. Then what he'd find, he didn't know, but he traded in the safety of his roots, and he polished up those standard issue boots. one day he'd be going back to that farm back home. A few years later down the road, that youngest son returned with the battle scars he carried and all the lessons he had learned, and a dream of doing just the thing that his old man had done, so he could pass that dream on down to his own son. And never once did he think twice to see the choice that he'd made as a sacrifice. He knew in this life you'll reap what you've sown, and for every dream that he saw fade away, a new one came to take its place that was stronger, 'cause he never dreamt alone on that farm back home. On that farm back home. On that farm back home. And that was my daddy's song. Hey Elena, thank you for joining us. I see your dad mentioned you. And oh, Kim is here, and Antoinette made it. Thank you all. Oh. Wonderful. My eyes aren't good enough to read the small print, I fear, but well, that's the worst of our problems right now. We're good. Right. I hear. Awesome. So I had asked people a little earlier in the week if they had any requests, and this one wasn't a request, but I know Bill Patterson is watching from Vancouver Island, Bill and Charlotte, and I know if Charlotte was here, she would be saying, "Play Tomorrow's a Better Day." And I think it is a song I wrote a few years ago for a friend that was going through a really challenging time. And we all go through those challenging times, and all of us are going through some interesting times right now. And I worry about the people that do get lost in what's happening or don't have the outlets that they need to feel better about what's happening or to feel more comfortable with what's happening. But I just maintain tomorrow's a better day if today's not a good one. Things that get up in the corners of your mind, jumbled names and faces that you thought you'd left behind, angry words thrown by a lover, the betrayal of a friend, things you thought that you'd long buried keep on rising up again, the would haves and the should haves and those wish that I had said almost make you dizzy as they circle in your head. Just when you think you rise above them, they bring you down again. But I have a solution that can help to ease the pain. Take a plain white piece of paper, write those words all out, then you crumple it and light a match, and when the flames burned itself out, take the ashes to the backyard, let the wind take them away, and as they drift off in the distance, you remind yourself, tomorrow's a better day. Tomorrow's a better day. You can't go on beating yourself up for old mistakes you made. write those words all out. Then you crumple it and light a match, and when the flames burn itself out, take the ashes to the backyard, let the wind take them away, and as they drift off in the distance, you remind yourself tomorrow's a better day. Tomorrow, it'll all be clearer. Tomorrow, the answers will feel nearer. Tomorrow, this day will be a dream. Tomorrow you will see just what I mean. Take a plain white piece of paper and you write those words all out. Then you crumple it and light a match. When the flames burn itself out, take the ashes to the backyard, let the wind take them away, and as they drift off in the distance, you remind yourself tomorrow's a better day. Tomorrow's a better day. Tomorrow's a better day. You have to read it to me, I can't see it.
Do you take requests, Karina?
Oh, Karina, I don't know. It depends on the request. I've got my sidearm here helping me with the notes, and yeah, we're really professional here. You
I
can
don't know
come.
how to wave back. But
Anyways, thank you. I see a little blurb there that shows my brother's online. Thank you, Michael. Nice to see you. And Kyle McKinstry, great to see you. Bianca, no, I don't do Freebird, John. That will be the next one I learn. And hey, there's Bianca and my boys. Hi, from Granny. And I think Karina's here with my other boys. Hi, from Granny. So speaking of Grannies, I would like to do a song, and I'm talking about heroes again. And when we moved back to the farm, when my dad decided to take us back so that we could get that stable education, we were able to live in the same house with my grandmother and my grandpa for the first year we moved back there, until they got their little house built in the yard. And my grandpa had been a school teacher before he decided there was more money in farming. And I am going to be 60 in July, not ashamed to say it. But he's been gone since 1990, and I swear there's not a day that I don't hear his voice with some of his words of wisdom, whether it's him saying, "A promise made is a debt unpaid," or him saying, "There are no bad kids, but there's a lot of misguided children in the world." And that is the kind of influence that I was so lucky to have for all of my life until I was 30. So this is a song I wrote for Grandpa. And it's called One More Star because Grandpa died in a tractor accident on the farm. And a couple of weeks after that, I had gone to JK's in McGregor. People will remember that, for a pickup order. And Rob Thompson was giving me his condolences. And he said, "Just keep in mind," he says, "you got one more star watching over you now." And that was what I needed to get going to write a tribute to Grandpa. So this is called One More Star. One of my first memories when I was a little child was being proudly sat upon his knee as he looked at me and smiled. Put the wheel of that tired old tractor in my small wonder-filled hands as together we rode gallantly across his precious land. There was always time for a storyline when the evening rolled around. It didn't matter what the question was, with him an answer would be found. You know, life's most important questions no books can ever teach. Though he's gone now, in my heart he's never out of reach. And there's one more star in heaven watching over me tonight. me through this life. There's one more star in heaven shining just for me tonight. There were gentle lines upon his face that he'd worked hard to earn, and he maintained a man who's never so old he can't learn. He knew the most important things in life your money cannot buy, like the respect of those around you and the strength in family ties. He believed hard work and patience brought with them their own rewards, and that it was a binding contract when a good man gave you his word. He said, you never make a promise you are not prepared to keep, and you don't ever plant a seed you won't take the time to reap. And I pray that as the years go by, I'll find that I can share all the virtues that he gave to me and his ability to care. And my wish for every child on earth and those that still will be, may they have one as special in their lives as Grandpa was to me. And there's one more star in heaven watching over me tonight. There's one more reason for me to do what I believe is right, and I have one more angel on my side to help me through this life. There's one more star in heaven shining just for me tonight. There's one more star in heaven watching over me tonight. And that was my grandpa song. Thank you, Dixie. Oh, Shane's song is coming. And Tracy Bullock, nice to see you. Lisa
Leanne
Cleaver.
Hodge.
Leanne. Oh,
Betty Ann.
Betty Ann. Betty, nice to see you. It would be really cool. This is my first time and whatever, but if you could put a comment for whoever's here with us, just put in the comments where you're tuning in from this evening. That would be really interesting for people to know, and for people to see how lucky I am to have just people all over the world that have my back when I decide to do something like this. But like I said, as I was back to my heroes, so Grandpa and Granny were definitely something. Now Granny was, she probably, I'm thinking, had about a grade 8 education. Her mother was very ill, so she spent a lot of her life raising her 4 brothers, and married my grandpa at 30 and became a mom, and was nothing ever more than a housewife and a mother and a granny. And I realize in looking back at now that she was nothing more than love. She, to have an impact like that after all these years, and sometimes that's really all we need, is to have a one champion in our corner, and Granny was definitely a champion for all of us. So this is a song I wrote quite recently, and it's to do with it tells its own story. It's a jar of dimes. But I have started the tradition that she introduced me to, trying to start it with our own grandkids, and apparently it's causing Bianca an awful lot of headaches, because the kids will find every dime she's got to her name and keep them, but this is called I Watch for Dimes. It was my 10th birthday. She handed me my gift. She said, I want to tell you something before you open it. Years from now, I hope you're going to think about this day, and I hope that you remember what I'm gonna say. You're little now and the days go slow. Child, those years go fast. Before you know it, I'm gonna be a memory from your past. But you need to know, no matter where you go or what you do, I'm always gonna be right here with you. You watch for dimes, you'll see them all the time, and every time you do, you know that I'm there too. When you're walking down the street, something shiny at your feet. When you're down to your your last prayer, I'll send a message that I'm there. And every single time you're feeling down, you lift those eyes and take a look around. You watch for dimes. Oh, watch for dimes. She handed me my present. There was a jar of dimes inside. She'd been saving them for ages. You could see her love and pride. That was oh so long ago. She's long since passed away, but I know that she is with me every day. I watch for dimes. I see them all the time, and every time I do, I know that she's here too. When I'm walking down the street, something shiny at my feet. When I'm down to my last prayer, she sends a message, she's right there. And every single time I'm feeling down, I just lift my eyes and take a look around, and I watch for dimes. A lot of things have changed since I was 10, but she's making me that promise that she made to me back then. You watch for dimes, you're gonna see them all the time. And every time you do, you'll know that I'm with you. When you're walking down the street, something shiny at your feet. When you're down to your last prayer, I'll send a message, I'm right there. And every single time you're feeling down, you just lift those eyes and take a look around, and you watch for dimes. Oh, watch for dimes. You watch for dimes. So that was my granny, one of my grannies. I got another granny, but I haven't written a song about her. I had another granny. But so it is fun, I find, to take those traditions we learned, and this little pandemic or situation is giving us an opportunity to share traditions that we didn't take time to share before. So I see kids learning to cook and people beginning to garden, and I'm even doing a house concert in my living room. So there are pearls in the oyster, I would say, but it takes a while to find those things and see them. So one of the requests I had earlier this week was from Mark Goldie in Brandon, who I have known since about 2003, and he had asked for ABBA, but unfortunately Cecil's the ABBA king, and I don't do much ABBA, but I thought I would do a song I wrote, and so for a lot of years I didn't do no, I'm not left-handed, John. I just got your thing. It's just the way this thing does. But I could pretend I'm ambidextrous, but that would be a lie. I had quit doing music for a lot of years. When I had Shane in 92, it became evident really early. He kind of hated my music. And I also really needed to focus on him as far as creativity went. So I didn't do anything. And in 2003, I started working with a lovely bunch of people, many of whom are on here tonight, Lisa and Margot, and I think probably Lori is in there somewhere, at an organization, and we supported people called a program called In the Company of Friends. And that's where I got to meet Mark. And they did a challenge one day to come up with something we didn't know about each other, and I came up with the fact that I had been a singer-songwriter and a musician for all of my life up until the previous 13 years. So it was kind of interesting realizing that what had defined me for so long wasn't even known about me anymore. So they challenged me to write a song, and so I came up with this one. And through my work within Company of Friends, I was there for about 13 years, and I met Mark and his family, and I met just people all around the province that just inspired and educated me and helped guide the decisions I made for Shane. So this is a song I wrote about the program, but I wrote it really based on my experience with Friends, because I am so blessed to have a collection of them, and I think that's what we need to get through this life. Sometimes we get so overwhelmed by all we feel we need to do that we forget to look behind us, appreciate what we've been through. Sometimes we need a little time to spend with the ones that love us best. A few special hours with our friends, and we can handle all the rest. And in the company of friends, you find a safe place for your heart. And you don't have to pretend you're feeling something when you aren't. You can celebrate life's victories or find the strength to try again. When you bless your life with the company of your friends. Well, there are just so many ups and downs on this journey we call life. Sometimes you need a soft reminder, everything will be alright. Sometimes you need to look at yourself through the eyes of those who care, to be reminded what your gifts are and all the strength you have in there. And in the company of friends, you find a safe place for your heart. And you don't have to pretend you're feeling something when you aren't. You can celebrate life's victories or find the strength to try again. When you bless your life with the company of your friends. We say, if not me, who? And if not now, when? There's so much I want to do, I won't pass this way again. We have dreams to fulfill, we'd all love to catch the wind. But we are so rich still, just because we have our friends. And in the company of friends, you have a safe place for your heart. And you don't have to pretend you're feeling something when you aren't. You can celebrate life's victories or find the strength to try again. When you bless your life with the company of your friends. When you bless your life with the company of your friends. When you bless your life with the company of friends. So that's to you, Mark and Brandon, and all of my other In Company of Friends, and all of my friends.
Jaden says you're pretty good at playing the guitar, Granny.
Oh, Jaden, thank you, Jaden. I appreciate that. Actually, truth be known, I'm not, but I am the capable queen of Kenora, so I can make things sound reasonable for a little while. So I had another request. Back to In Company Friends, one last thing I wanted to add is the direct support workers that are keeping the world going for so many people right now need to be acknowledged. And I love that during the news what we're seeing is governments and hierarchies starting to realize the job that they have to do, the great work they do, and how undervalued and underpaid they are in what they're doing. And there's a lot of people doing that in the front lines right now that have not been acknowledged or appreciated as much as they need to be. So I am very happy that I hope they do more, but shout out to all the DSWs out there and the support people that are doing what they have to keep things going. I just need a little sip of water. Try not to knock it all over the house because I am a little clumsy sometimes. Ooh, fox out on the road. Or on the ice. Sorry. I'd spin my camera around and show you, but he's actually doing kind of a cute little skittle there because it's a little slippery for the feet, but you'll just have to take my word for it. Okay, sorry, back to... Oh, thank you, Mark. I'm glad you appreciate it. I wish I could have done ABBA, but that'll be maybe next time. So I did have another request, and so this is a song. Thank you, Dorothy. It's great to see you have it here. And yes, and Dixie, that is right. That was a Kelly Tomchuk song, and it was really, when I did In the Company of Friends, it was shortly, a couple of months after I wrote it, we lost Kelly. He'd been a good friend of mine from the time we were 6 years old and moved to the farm. And it was his passing that really pushed me to get off my butt and pursue a few dreams. And doing a CD and recording my music was one of those dreams at the time. And I think had he not passed, probably would have just left that dream on the back burner, which we do too often. So yes, thank you for that reminder, Dixie. So my other friend, Ryan Nelson, is in Brandon, and I see he's on here with his mom, Kim. And he had requested that I do When You Look at Me, which is, everybody knows, is Shane's song. And I want to give a little bit about Ryan and I met actually when Shane was 16. And Shane and Ryan were the only two children in the province of Manitoba that had this eye gaze communication device, because they both have cerebral palsy and they both don't communicate verbally. So we were connected to each other by a lady in Winnipeg, Lori, that runs Open Access, and we got to know each other. And we kind of had this online or little email thing going back and forth as we tried to learn the device. And when Shane passed away, my niece Jamie phoned me and she said, "Auntie Linda, are you on Facebook?" And I said, "No." And she says, "Well, you need to get on there." They started a group for Shane, and there's such beautiful things. And so I joined Facebook that day, and my very first friend request came from my friend Ryan in Flin Flon, Manitoba, which is about 12 hours away from where we lived in Lavenham. And in the time after that, Ryan and I have become very good friends. And a couple of years after Shane passed, I was able to work with the powers that be, and were able to get Ryan into a home that he wanted to live in Brandon. And so I've really didn't get to do that for Shane, but I'm so proud of the life Ryan is living and the things he's accomplishing. And one thing, in case I forget to mention after, if anybody gets a chance and you have the opportunity and you've got some time indoors, I would highly recommend you take some time and download his book. It's called The Crusades of Captain Rye. He wrote it with his friend Matt, and it took ages because Ryan, like I said, he uses his eyes to communicate, but it's a fabulous 10-chapter tale about a pirate, and I won't tell you anything more about it, but I would highly recommend Ryan's work. So this is actually Shane's song, and so I will send it out to Ryan, but I will always sing it for Shane. Just see what your eyes see, a body that won't listen to my will. If you look inside, very soon you'd realize there's a fire that these struggles cannot kill. See my heart, see my spirit, see the light that shines in me. See the love I could offer, or the friend that I might be. All I ask when you're with me, please don't only see what it is that your eyes alone see. And when you talk with me, know there's words that I can't say. They're in me, but they're locked so deep inside. And it's not that I friend that I might be. All I ask when you're with me, please don't only hear just those words that can't land upon your ears. The way we travel's different, but this road we're on's the same. And if you'll journey with me a while, you'll be glad you came. 'Cause there are gifts we both can offer, but there are lessons we could share. And you are never gonna know that if you won't meet me halfway there. So spend some time with me. You get to know just who I am. Know my laugh, know my smile, know my soul. I can listen if you need. If you have secrets, I will keep them. Or simply sit and be a hand to hold. Know my heart, know my spirit, know the light that shines in me. Know the love I would offer you, or the friend that I might be. All I ask when you're with me, open up your heart and see all those things that make up the whole of me. And don't only see what it is your eyes see. There's more to me when you look at me. When you look at me. So when you look at me, Shane's song, and going out to Ryan, and with my wish that everybody that hears that song anytime keeps in mind that we need to look beyond what we see in people, because there is so much more below the surface of all of us. Everybody's fighting their own battles and doing their own journey, and we just need to be kind and compassionate to one another. So thank you, Ryan, for requesting that one. I hope you're enjoying it, and I do hope we get to all see each other again soon, face to face. But I am so appreciating all of you here. I see, Mary Drieger and Susan having this dinner hour. I've been known to play supper hour music. Lori Miller, nice to see you. And Debbie from Phoenix, hello, hello. Thank you, Natalie. So the other day, one of my requests was from Susan and Fred, who are having supper in Qualicum Beach right now. So they're trying to chew to my tunes. But she had requested, now I thought she requested No Time to Hear the Music. I just saw a little thing on here about Inner Compass, but I've been practicing No Time to Hear the Music. So too bad, Susan, you're just gonna have to have to deal with either it was my lack of reading properly or anyways. This is a song I've been working for the last 10 years. I've been working with Mark McGregor, who I'd gone to school with in McGregor, but we ended up reconnecting 30 years later, and my music drew him, or interested him enough that he wanted to make it part of the leadership training he does. And so we used to do these different things in trainings, and he would come up with a video and I would write a song. And so this is a story of an experiment that was done by the Washington Post, and I'm sure a lot of you may have seen the video, but I think it's a good song to do right now because the thing is, we have no time, but at this moment in time, we do have time to be listening to music and doing things that we don't. So maybe it's sort of fulfilled itself a little bit, but this is called No Time to Hear the Music. Washington Metro, 8 a.m., January 2007. It was an experiment when the master said to play. He pulled his violin from its case, he tuned it up and set his face. The sweet notes filled the empty space for all the people on their way. time to hear the music that is filling up the room, or to gaze upon the glory of a flower in full bloom. If we've no time to sit a moment, hear what this world might have to say. If we've no time to hear the music as it plays, what else might we be missing every day? For an hour the people came and went. There was no applause, no acknowledgement. $32.17 was all that he had made, when only just 2 nights before, $100 at the door, Boston Symphony Hall could hold no more, when that same man took the stage. But no one at L'Enfant Plaza knew the player was Joshua Bell, on a $3 million Stradivarius, masterpieces played so well, and only 7 people took the time to hear the sweetest gift to ever land upon their ears. But if we've no time to hear the music that is filling up the room, or to gaze upon the glory of a flower in full bloom, if we've no time to sit a moment, hear what this world might have to say. If we've no time to hear the music as it plays, what else might we be missing every day? W.C. Davies said it clear, if we've got no time to stop and hear, what is this world so full of care, that we can't take a moment to stop and just stare? 'Cause if we've no time to hear the music that is filling up the room, or to gaze upon a flower in the glory of full bloom, if we've no time to sit a moment, hear what this world might have to say. If we've no time to hear the music as it plays, what else might we be missing every day? If we've no time to hear the music as it plays, what else might we be missing every day?
Clem Coet, Dean Legault, Kent Stewart.
Ooh, my Mac. Oh, let's see. Cecil's given me the the live feed here, because like I said, I'm too squinty and bifocals. But hello to Kent and Clem in Quebec, and Dean Legault. Nice to see you're joining us. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And Bill Kirk.
And Bill Kirk. Hey, Bill from some of our old Golfo friends. And this is kind of remarkable, really, that we have this little opportunity to do something like this. I mean, if it wasn't for what's going on, I don't think any of us would have thought of these ways of sharing our stories and our tunes and connecting with each other. So,
Lynn Taylor.
Lynn Taylor. Hey, Lynn. Hi to Ken. Anyways, the next song I'm going to do is a song I wrote. It was shortly after Shane passed away, and I was doing my regular walks, and I would often find myself walking up to his bedroom door and just sort of standing there and not remembering why I went or what I was doing. And this last few weeks of our lockdown and our self-isolation, I think several times I've found myself in that same kind of feeling a little bit lost, and I think I'm not the only one. We're the ones that are lucky and safe at home, but we're forgetting things and we're doing things differently, and I think the reality is we're all kind of grieving the world that we were familiar with. Not to say she's gone forever, but at this moment it's a little bit different. And so this is a song I wrote at that time called Standing in Your Doorway. Walking down this dusty road alone, my heart weighs in me like a stone. I hear your voice on every gentle breeze. The sunlight falls upon my face, it warms me just like your embrace. The thought of you can bring me to my knees. And now I'm standing in your doorway. I'm hoping you may let me in, because I'm willing to do things your way, if you just show me how to begin. The memory of you haunts my mind, and all those dreams we left behind. I think about you every minute of each day. The promises we couldn't keep, those conversations in my sleep, where I can say all those things I so need to say. And now I'm standing in your doorway. I'm hoping you may let me in, because I'm willing to do things your way, if you just show me how to begin. The essence of you still remains, and I know I'm forever changed. I've a different view on everything I see, like a ripple landing on the shore alters the sand forevermore. That's exactly what you've done to me. And now I'm standing in your doorway. I'm hoping you may let me in, because I'm willing to do things your way, if you just show me how to begin. I'm standing in line, biding my time. I know I'll be fine, but this is gonna take time.
Joe?
Uncle Joe. Hello, Uncle Joe. And something else. Oh, Andrea, I saw your comment about Ryder, and thank you for sharing the video of Ryder and Scott yesterday. He's such a champion, and I appreciate your comment on that. Thank you, and thank you to everybody. Margaret, Marion, cousin Val. Les Rogers. Oh my goodness, Cecil's just naming off names in the back because like I said, I won't go into it again. So I am going to do one here. I would like to. I hope I do it justice. And if John's still on, he's going to be wanting to slap me upside the head because I'm not really good at change. But anyways, what I started last August, I'm still not exactly sure why, except that I believe it was what I was meant to do. I signed up for a songwriting course, and it was being offered online, and there was a little over 300 of us from around the world that signed up for this this course, and I was so fortunate in that. And it was a different kind of songwriting, as you know. Mine's kind of pretty folky and storytelling-ish, but this was learning some of the skills to write songs for what they call sync songwriting. So it's learning to write songs that may end up with a placement in a movie or a commercial or TV or something. And I was very blessed to be put in a mini group of 10 or 12 of us, and some just fabulously talented people from around the world that have really, really made me up my game and inspired me to keep writing. So I got one of the things they made us do about 4 weeks into the course was to co-write, and I've never in my life co-written with anybody, and I was a little petrified to do it. And I looked at the people that I'd been following on the course and thought, if I'm going to co-write, it's going to be with somebody that knows more than me for sure. And so I got really brave, and I reached out to a gentleman named John Martin in Nashville, who was on my mini team. He was our captain, and said, would you be brave enough to tackle this? And he said, yes, he would. And our first collaboration I'm very pleased with is a song called Be Brave, and we're working on a couple more. And this is one we were just working on this week. And I think we're working on it because of what's going on in the world. And but we're all coming together in the ways that we can. And so this is called Ghost Town. And I took a drive down Main Street, not a single soul in sight. Everything lately is so strange. No lights on at all, it seems. The schools are locked up tight, and old Cecil's not out strumming tunes for change. Seems like this whole world's gone upside down, like living in a ghost town. Like living in a ghost town. But if you look a little closer, there are lights in every home, hearts in every window that tell us we're not alone. Neighbors doing what they can, so we will rise above. What we do's not out of fear, it's out of love. Together we will turn this all around. This is not a ghost town. This is our town. Safe at home, families have been doing what they can. Alone together, closer than before. We find our ways to reconnect. See, there's a greater plan, and maybe that's what hearts have needed more. To know that together we can turn it all around. We'll put the heartbeat back in this old town. This is our town. This is our town. And if you look a little closer, there are lights in every home, hearts in every window that show us we're not alone. People doing all they can, so we will rise above. What we do's not out of fear, it's out of love. Together we will turn it all around. This is not a ghost town. This is our town. This is not a ghost town. This is our town. Cecil gave me the thumbs up, and I know John's sitting in Nashville going, oh, she doesn't listen. But there's a video about that. It's called Linda, You're Not Listening. But I will keep practicing to get it right. But, oh, Hey, Johnny. I watched yours the other day, Johnny Dietrich. That was an awesome, as always. He's our local Portage hero and just a fabulous entertainer. How are we doing for time here? Oh, it's 8 o'clock on the nose. Look at me. I didn't want to keep you all more than an hour. And hi, Leanne. And Antoinette, as always. Anyways, I know I'm missing people because, like I said, I'm that small and this doesn't move. And I hope I haven't caught or missed too many of you. I'm going to do one more. And Cecil's been a great help. I appreciate him giving me all the things that I don't know. I want to end it on a song that I wrote last spring. And as part of, I wrote this song. There's a friend of mine, Erin Miller, and as a lot of you will know, Erin lost her son Chad about 5 or 6 years ago, and we connected as mothers who both had lost our only sons, or my only biological son. I'm lucky to have others in my life as well, but anyways, and she's been working on creating a foundation to make change in the world in Chad's name, and she had sent me a copy of a page of his journal and asked if I would be able to do anything with it. Hey, Shelley and Ron, how are you? So this is a song that came from one of the lines that he had written, and it was just that his mom was his hero, and that people keep doing what they can. And so it was when I started that songwriting course I was talking about, one of the fellows that was on my team, a fellow named Chris, who goes by Emphatic in New Zealand, he heard the song and he said, I'd like to try and do something with it, different. So he's just turned it into a fabulous production that I hope I'll be able to share with people soon. John has been working with us on that. And but this is the Linda version of Strong. And I think it was written knowing that none of us know how strong we are until we don't have any choice but to be strong. And I think that is getting, a lot of people are getting tested for that right now. I think we're stronger than we think. And I believe we're going to get through this together and keep watching out for each other and have each other's back. But this is a Strong. Follow our own paths in life, unconscious where they lead, unaware and unafraid, focus just on what we need. The world outside flows on by and we just kind of float along until the world we know is shattered and they tell us we must be strong. We must be strong. But you don't know what strong is till strong's your only choice. And you don't know what you're made of until you find your voice. So you keep giving love, you keep living life when no one else believes you can. And only those who walk this road are gonna understand that when everything you thought you knew is gone, that's when you find strong. That's when you find strong. All the pieces of the life you knew lay scattered on the ground. You try to put them back together, pieces never found. So you rearrange what you've got left. It all feels so wrong. Then in the holes and spaces left behind, you get a glimpse of strong. Because you don't know what strong is till strong's your only choice. And you don't know what you're made of until you find your voice. So you keep giving love, you keep living life when no one else believes you can. And only those thought you knew is gone. That's when you find strong. That's when you find strong. So you dive into the emptiness. You look for something more, something to believe in like you never did before. And all those lessons that you couldn't see before it all went wrong are waiting there for you to share when you discovered that you are strong. Because you don't know what strong is, till strong's your only choice. And you don't know what you're made of until you find your voice. So you keep giving love, you keep living life when no one else believes you can. And only those who walk this road are gonna understand that everything you thought you knew is gone. That's when you find strong. That's when you know strong. That's when you'll be strong. So that was strong. Thank you everybody for your kind compliments. We've had 3 requests to have Cecil show.
Who said that?
Dorothy for one, and Dixie for one. So I will ask him to, and welcome to our living room, by the way. He's worked really hard to have a beautiful fire going and keeping me nice and toasty. Come.
To do what?
Just to say hi, because you know it's our first little thingy. Oh, Mark's asking for an encore.
Hello. There. Is that it?
Could you do better than that? Okay, well,
What do you want me to do?
he's really good at reading comments, and we should have been practicing Daddy saying bass or something else, but we didn't. Maybe for another time. So I think I will end it there.
Okay.
I think I shall. There, saved. Ron says hi. Dixie says hi. Lisa says hi. Allison says hi. You're a star. He's so glad he changed his shirt. Anyways, I think I'm going to sign off there and let everybody get back to their wonderful evenings. And again, we got this. We're all going through it differently, and we're alone together in this, but we can make it work. Hi Elena, and thank you for tuning in and watching. I appreciate you, and so everybody have a wonderful evening, and again, thanks so much. And and Susan says it's plus 20 on the island right now. Well, it's minus 12 here tonight, so there.
Bugger off, Susan.
Oh, he said the bad B word. Oh, hi, Steph. Anyways, again, thank you everybody that tuned in tonight. I really appreciate it. It's if it hadn't been for something like this happening in the world, it's that technology we've had at our fingertips and never even thought to use. And maybe we were too busy doing other things. And so maybe this is our chance to slow down and use some of those gifts that are waiting there for us to access. So just be kind to each other, watch out to each other, and you've got our love. So thank you very much, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.